Hi friends, welcome to this discussion, test 20 discussion. We are going to have a talk on the Indian economy as well as the banking sector. Of course, there will be a lot of current affairs as well. But in the previous session, we focused on general stuff, mostly the Cold War. There was one story about the Cold War. And having had a look at that, now in this session, I'm going to give you data on the banking sector. See, to a large extent, this talk will be on the number of, it's basically data driven, okay? And of course, one on the banking sector in India, second, it will be on, FDI numbers. Let's get on with the business. Here's the first question. Scheduled commercial banks get licenses under the BRA 1949. So how many, what's a commercial bank? You please write, what's a scheduled commercial bank? Right. What's a scheduled commercial bank? Scheduled commercial bank. So two major things, right? Underline that. One that is mentioned, one that is listed. That's better. One that is listed in the second schedule. One that is listed in the second schedule of the RBI Act 1949. It's mentioned in choice 5. Choice 4. 1934. I'm so sorry. 1934. RBI Act 1934. So a scheduled commercial bank is one whose name is listed in the second schedule of RBI Act 1934. Second point, one that is engaged in, one that is engaged, E-N-G-A-G-E-D, engaged, involved, simple words, engaged in banking business and activities, banking business and activities like accepting deposits, and making advances. There are a lot of other functions, but we said like means two, one or just examples, like accepting deposits and making advances. Advance means loan. You can brackets write giving loans. You could write that. Giving loans. So since it's bank bhasha, let's use bank language. Okay. Next. So I'm going to give you data on the number of banks in India, scheduled banks, all that stuff. Okay. Now look, all this data comes from the Reserve Bank of India website. This is not my data. I went through the website, I collected all the data, and here's the data. Please write. So at the top, all data are as per, you could write are or you could write is, both are fine. All data are, A-R-E-R, as per the Reserve Bank of India website, the RBI website. So below that, right. 12 public sector banks. We'll take a list of the names of these 12 banks after the mergers, especially there's a lot of confusion among people as to how many banks are there, after the mergers basically. So right, 12 public sector banks. Next, 22 private sector banks, and these are all scheduled banks, okay? 22 private sector banks like Axis Bank, Nainital Bank, stuff like that. Next, 44 foreign banks. 44 foreign banks in brackets with branch presence in India. With branch presence in India. That is, even if they have one branch, it's considered we have, a foreign bank is in India. 44 foreign banks. Next, 3 local area banks. 3 local area banks. So मैं repeat करता हूँ. 12 public sector banks है, 12 public sector banks. 22 22 private sector banks. 44 foreign banks with branch presence in India. 3 local area banks, that is 3 is 3 local area banks. Next, 10 thus small payments banks, small finance banks, small finance banks. 10 small finance banks. You have this Capital Finance Bank, Small Finance Bank, AU Small Finance Banks. I think in one of the previous sessions we had discussed this. We took the name of the CEO and the head office of these places, isn't it? Yeah. So next, so we mentioned 10 small finance banks. Next, 7 payments banks. 7 payments banks, including India Post Payments Bank. India Post Payments Bank. Next, 45 regional rural banks. 45 regional rural banks. 45 regional rural banks, and if I'm not wrong, it's 33 state cooperative banks. 33 state cooperative banks. State cooperative banks, and 33 state cooperative banks, and 4 financial institutions. 4 financial institutions. 4 financial institutions. Okay. 4 financial institutions. These are, you can write this actually. Dash. National Housing Board. National Housing Board. Comma. Small Industries Development Bank of India. Small Industries Development Bank of India. Comma. Exim Bank of India. Exim, 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 Exim Bank of India. So Exim Bank of India, Exim Bank, SIDBI, NHB. There is one more. Yeah, NABARD, NABARD, NABARD. So Small Industries Development Bank of India, National Housing Board. I am going in random order. You can just look up your book, okay? Because I am writing it here as usual. So National Housing Board, Exim Bank of India, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. That is NABARD. NABARD, NABARD. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So this is the data. Good data, isn't it? So now that you know that there are 12 public sector banks in India, 22 private banks, 44 foreign banks. Okay, and there are 3 local area banks. You also know that there are 45 regional rural banks, 33 state cooperative banks. I repeated, 45 regional rural banks, 33 state cooperative banks, 4 financial institutions. Okay, and we also mentioned 10 small finance banks, 10 small finance banks, 10 small finance banks, and 7 payments banks, 7 payments banks. That's it. Cool, isn't it? So now we will write the names of 12 public sector banks after mergers. Okay, please write. After merger, let's write this. Okay. Right. 12 public sector banks. Right. I'm going in random order, so you could write whatever you want to write, the way you want to write. Right. State Bank of India. 1. State Bank of India. 2. UCO Bank. UCO. UCO Bank. Next, Indian Overseas Bank. Indian Overseas Bank. Next, Central Bank of India. Central Bank of India. See, if I am incorrect about the data, get back please. Okay. See, I am a teacher. I don't say that I am right or anything, but I have collected this data from website, Government of India websites. So I may be incorrect. In case I am incorrect, get back. If I am right, please share that also that I was right. Okay, because that kind of gives me an assurance that I am on the right track. So SBI, next UCO Bank, then Indian Overseas Bank, then Central Bank of India, then Bank of India, Bank of India. Bank of India, boy, that will be 5, 6. Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of Maharashtra, then Indian Bank, Indian Bank, you know Indian Bank के साथ Allahabad Bank का merger हुआ था, Indian Bank. Next, Punjab National Bank, PNB, Punjab National Bank, what merged with it? OBC, I think, yeah, and United Bank of India, yeah, OBC. Then Punjab and Sindh Bank, yes, this is easy to forget name. Punjab and Sindh Bank. So याद रखिए there are 2 banks in India that have Punjab in the name. One is PNB, Punjab National Bank, and the second one is Punjab and Sindh Bank. Okay. Then BOB, Bank of Baroda, Bank of Baroda. (11) Central Bank of India. No, I think we didn't mention this name. Right, United Bank of India. Sorry. United Bank of India. United Bank of India. Central Bank merged with PNB. Yes. So this is United Bank of India. United Bank of India. And the last one, ladies and gentlemen, is the State Bank of India. So, no, I think State Bank of India came in first now. So what is missing? Once South Indian Bank is being Canara Bank. What is it? Canara Bank. So in random order, I'll read these names again. Okay, friends? Please write. Please check. State Bank of India, Canara Bank, Punjab National Bank, United Bank of India, Punjab and Sindh Bank, Indian Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India, Central Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, and what was the second one we wrote? UCO Bank, UCO Bank, UCO Bank. Cool, you must have got that. Yeah. So that's some data you should have, my friends. I am sure that you would, you have good stuff now. So, you know, after mergers, we have 12 public sector banks. The idea is to bring down this number to about 4 or 5. Let's see how it works out. But that's a Government of India plan to have 4 or 5 super large banks. Okay. So, see, there are a lot of political considerations also. So, there is a vote bank, there are political considerations, there are political compulsions. So a lot of things go into making these decisions. Now, luckily, as of today, there isn't much political compulsion in making these merger decisions, but the government of India has been strong enough to withstand pressure from the unions and everything. See, because as banks become larger, the administrative costs go down, and second thing, the amount of money they have, also goes up. Merging a weak bank with a strong bank makes a weak bank strong, not a strong bank weak. In the short term, the strong bank may become weak, but with a larger network, with more money available, it will only get better. So it's a win-win. It's actually a good decision to have fewer large banks than have a large number of small banks. Because to cater to the smaller, to cater to smaller, what we say, the largest segment of the population, we now have a lot of banks. For the unbanked, we have the Jandan accounts with scheduled commercial banks. Plus, now the government of India also has given permission to India Post to carry on with the payments bank business. So it's a good thing, because India Post has massive reach. It has a much deeper reach than any other bank in India, any other entity in India. Post offices are there everywhere, just about everywhere. And the kind of the familiarity the local postman, the local post office has with the people around is much deeper than the normal bank teller would have with us. Yeah, of course, it is also true that a lot of people today use digital mediums, especially in urban areas, not so in rural areas. But still, things are getting better. Things will only get better from here. Yeah, they will only get better from here. So now the answer is 1 here, and I'm sure that this data will help you. There are other terms I'm going to discuss, like IFSC code, MICR and everything. So as we go further, we'll discuss that. Okay. This will be only this particular session. We'll focus on FDI from different countries and sectors, plus this banking kind of stuff. Okay. Overdraft is covered under, overdraft is a loan. See, I may not have, if I have a good standing with the bank, so typically it's a current account. Overdraft is given a current account, and especially if I have a good credit history with the bank. So I have always had very good transactions. My checks never bounced, those kinds of things. So the bank would say, okay, the teacher needs 50,000 overdraft, give 50,000 overdraft. There is no money in the account. Still the bank would say, okay, you could take this money. So it's a loan. It is a loan. So overdrawing the account is overdraft. Overdrawing means drawing much more than what is in the account. In fact, account could be, let's say, have 10,000 rupees. I may require 15,000 rupees. So the bank would allow me to draw 15,000 rupees. The 5,000 difference is the loan the bank gives me. Okay, it's covered under advancing of loans. It's surprising that, because I have never thought this, it just comes basically. Dash is the risk of default on a debt that may arise from a borrower failing to make required payments. Obviously, it's always credit risk. So, see, a lot of people borrow money, and there are all kinds of borrowers in this world. There is this guy who has an excellent credit history, whose repayment history is damn good. Okay, but then there is another kind of borrower whose credit history is pretty bad. Someone who's not made the payments on time, someone who's defaulted multiple times. These kinds of borrowers are called subprime borrowers, or whose credit history is not good. They carry a very high risk of repayment. Lending to them carries a high risk of default. So the problem is that in India, of course, such loans are fewer, but in the West they are on the very high side. And it is easy to get a credit card in the West than it is in India. Like, for example, in the West, on an average, a credit card, a family of 4 would have about 14 credit cards. That's an average. Okay. So of course it varies, but you can say that's an average. And most of the time, Americans, this particular the credit risk is there in India, but it's much deeper in countries like United States, because the bankers there are always under pressure to make money. There are a lot of banks in America, a lot of them, and you know what they do is they lend, thinking that the money would come back, but often it does not come back. But then, Americans by nature don't save money. It is true that Americans by nature don't save money. The national savings rate is very low, it's in single digits, in the lower single digits. In India, it's in the 30 percentages, it's about 33%. National saving, household savings are about 33% in India, about 32-33% in India. In America, it's about 2 to 5%. Varies between parts of the United States, but national average will be over 4%. You know what happens in America? If I would want to borrow, and I have never borrowed. Now look at it. Let's say I'm an American. I have never borrowed money. I'm an Indian. I've gone to America. I have never borrowed money in my life. And that's a good idea. See, in India, what do you say? कभी उधार लेना नहीं चाहिए. उधार लेना बहुत खराब बात है. हमेशा live within your means. Yes, that's what. जितनी चादर हो उतने पैर फैलाने चाहिए. That's what we've been taught. But then, if I go to America and I want to borrow money, I won't be given a loan. I won't be given any loan to buy anything that I want. Why? Because there is no credit history. See, look, not having a credit history is a bad thing. I may have excellent finances. I may have excellent, I have never borrowed money. But how do they know that I would not default? So if I had been borrowing and making the payments on time, it's a good idea. That's why in India also, it is a good idea to make one loan and make the payments on time. So it is nowadays, it's become important, my friends. आप सोचे होंगे कि ये कैसे कह रहे हैं कि मैं उधार लो. उधार लेने की बात नहीं कह रहा हूँ, लेकिन एक अच्छी क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री बनाने के लिए आपको ये करना जरूरी हो जाता है आज हिंदुस्तान में. क्योंकि आप देखिए कि इफ यू लुक एट ऑल दिस एड्स ऑन टीवी, पैसा बचा दे से check your credit history, credit score, free. There's nothing free. Once you enter the data, you keep getting all those phone calls, all those SMSs. They bug you with emails. They bug you with products. Basically, they get commission on selling all that stuff. So in America, it's very important to have a credit history, and to make money, bankers lend to people who do not have much of a credit history, who do not have a good credit history. So people, if I go to a bank, let's say I don't have a stable income, I go to a bank, I want to take a loan, I would take a loan. I would put my house or something in the collateral. The house is worth, let's say now, $50,000, $1 lakh. Current value is, let's say, $1 lakh. Okay, fair. The market is in a boom. I get $1 lakh. I get something like $80,000. They keep a margin of $20,000. Now, I took a loan, even though they know that I don't have a stable income, but I owned a house, so I put the collateral. गिरवी रखा मैंने घर को, $80,000 लिए मैंने, and now the current value of the house is $1 lakh. Let's say the market crashes. The market crashes. What would happen? I don't make payments to the bank. I stop making payments. I always didn't want to make the payment. Now, the bank, let's say the house value is from $1 lakh, it has come down to $20,000. What happened? What would happen to the bank? It would run a loss. It has an asset which it cannot dispose of because the value has crashed. Okay? And on the other side, I had borrowed money. Yeah, I'm not paying interest, I'm not paying the principal. So the banker gets a double whammy. And this is, my friends, what happened in 2008, 9 and 10 in the US. The US financial crisis was majorly a housing crisis. a housing crisis. People had borrowed a lot of money, mortgaging their houses, mortgaging, T is silent, not mortgage, mortgage, girvi rakhi kar. This is what we do. So Americans basically definitely carry credit risk. In India also it has gone up. A lot of people default these days, but they have come up with a new list of blacklisting. So if I fail to pay basically, then it gets listed in the credit history. So every when I make a loan application, मैं बैंक को एक loan application देता हूँ, okay, and आपको दे दिया मैंने loan application. The banker says, okay sir, we'll check and get back to you. So when they log in, they look at my credit history, entire credit history. And if they get to know that I had defaulted on payments and thing, they may not lend to me. They may not lend to me. So there are always dangers. There are always dangers that the banker runs, losing money. So credit risk is the risk of default on a debt that may arise from a borrower. Yeah, when I don't make the required payment. So remember, Americans don't have much money. They do have, but what they have in, okay, one last point I'll tell you, is what they have is called dis-saving. Dis-saving. हम saving, हमारी saving होती है, हालांकि हमारी saving होती है और दूसरों की Americans के dis-saving होती है. They spend today, without any money in the pocket, they spend today. The payment for this will come from future income. So the future income is already spent. That is precisely what is happening. In India, we now are experiencing a new type of default or a new type of consumerism. It's called urban rich poor. The urban rich poor is a person who owns a fancy phone but does not have enough money to pay the bill or does not have enough money to recharge the phone. It is normal. People have a 10,000 rupee handbag, but would not have any money to keep inside it. Because there is a lot of consumerism. People today, loans are available for everything. So it is these kinds of people that run a huge risk for a bank manager, who pose a big risk for banks profits. Absolute big risk managers. So anyway, always remember, consumerism is good as long as it does not impinge on your financial freedom. So IFSC code, IFSC, Indian Finance System. What is this IFSC code here? It consists of 11 digits, isn't it? So what are these 11 digits? Please write. IFSC code, 11 digits. I think we discussed this in the past, but let's revise this. First 4 digits. First 4 digits dash bank code, bank, BANK, bank code. So typically SBI का क्या होता है? SBI का bank, you want to know the IFSC code of a particular branch of SBI. The first 4 letters will be SBIN. SBIN. I think it's SBI network. That's what it stands for. Okay. So we have first 4 digits, then 5th digit, right? This is interesting. 5th digit or 5th character, I'm sorry, 5th character. 5th character is 0. ZERO, 0. In brackets, for future use. For future use. For future use. For future use. Next. Last 6 digits. Last 6 digits for branch code. For branch code. For branch code. For branch code. So this is 11 characters of IFSC. Okay. तो ठीक है, उसके नीचे लिखिए एक और MICR. MICR. There is something called MICR on checks. Check के ऊपर लिखा होता है नीचे MICR number. लिखिए, right? It's a 9-digit code if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 9-digit. MICR dash magnetic ink. Magnetic ink character, magnetic ink, character recognition, magnetic ink character recognition. Dash, continue then, dash, 9-digit code, that identifies branches, yes, that identifies branches, that take part in electronic clearance systems, electronic clearing system. So 9-digit code that identifies branches that take part in electronic clearing system. Next, decoding the 9 digits, right? Decoding the 9 digits. Underline that, right? First point. First 3 digits. Dash, city code, city, C-I-T-Y, city code. Next 3 digits. Bank code, bank, B-A-N-K, bank code. Last 3 digits. Particular branch code. Got it? So now you know IFSC code, you know MICR code, you know a lot about the number of banks in India. So pretty good data we got, man. Very, very good data. All in the first 32 minutes. So anyway, this session is not going to last for a long time because this is pure banking, and that is how long it lasts. But I am not very mortgage. The T is silent. T का उच्चारण नहीं होता है. बीच में कहीं मेरी हिंदी फिसल जाए तो please forgive me because I am not a Hindi speaker. Okay, Hindi is not my mother tongue. Mortgage is a security on which kind of property for loan is given on is a security on which kind of property for loan given by a bank. It's basically immovable property. Girvi rakhna, mortgage is girvi rakhna. So typically land, plant and machinery, stuff like that. You look at that choice C. Choice 3. Choice 3 is GSEC. GSEC is government security. Government securities. Next. What is the minimum paid up capital for setting up a small finance bank? Small finance bank, 200 crores is required, man. 200 crores is required. And we said how many small finance banks are there in India? 10 small finance banks are there in India. Jana Small Finance Bank, AU Small Finance Bank, Capital Small Finance Bank, stuff like that. So all of them start with the minimum of 200 crores, friends. Minimum paid up capital. That's a good number. Okay, a check which is payable to any person who presents it for payment at the counter is called bearer check. Whoever bears such, bearer means हाथ में, जिसके हाथ में bearer. जैसे कि आप होटल जाते हैं, bearer बोलते हैं, bearer is this is it. It's always good to call people by name. So when the next time the guy comes to your table, you call someone, ask the person's name, and you want to call that guy to your table next. please call by name. There is greater attention when you call people by their name. So anyone who carries a check to bank, is called bearer. And if it's not, look at it. What is meant? It is payable to any person who presents it for payment. Again, blank, a normal check here. मैं आपको देता हूँ ऐसा. You will have to make the payment to me. Okay. But if it's crossed, then it will have to be deposited in the person's account. Let's say it is written as pay Bharat Singh Jain. Okay. Then if it's crossed, it will have to be deposited in my account. Only then payment shall be made. So no one else can use that check. So bearer check is whoever carries it. All it requires is a basic signature, which of course these days anyone can do. Among cities with 10 lakh population, over 10 lakh population, which city has been ranked, both are fine, okay? As India's cleanest city for the 4th time. The answer is very simple, it's on the screen for you. Indore, Indore is in Madhya Pradesh, it's the largest city in Madhya Pradesh. And one thing you should know that Indore and Delhi are the only 2 places in India which have airports named after women. Named after women. Only 2 places. Indore and Delhi airports are the only 2 airports in India named after women. Delhi's airport is called Indira Gandhi International Airport. Indore's airport is called Devi Ahilya Bai Airport. Devi, D-E-V-I, Devi Ahilya, A-H-I-L-Y-A, Ahilya Bai Airport. Devi Ahilya Bai Airport. Basically, Ahilya Bai was from the Holkar family, H-O-L-K-A-R, the ruling family of Indore. Okay, we want to know some airports? Veer Savarkar Airport. Guess the place. Where is Veer Savarkar Airport? If you had thought of one place where he was jailed, where was he jailed? Where was the great Savarkar jailed? Port Blair. Yes, the Port Blair Airport is called Veer Savarkar Airport. Veer Savarkar Airport. We have Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Airport, and that would be at Ahmedabad. Then we have Jolly Grant Airport. Jolly Grant, if I'm not wrong, yeah. J-O-L-L-Y. Jolly Grant. G-R-A-N-T. Grant. Jolly Grant. Where is Jolly Grant? I think it's in Dehradun. Dehradun. Yes. And which is India's 100th airport? Any idea? 100th airport. India's 100th airport is a place called Pakyong. P-A-K-Y-O-N-G. I think that's the right spelling. P-A-K-Y-O-N-G. India's 100th airport. Pakyong. P-A-K-Y-O-N-G. Pakyong. Sikkim. Is it? Sikkim. The spelling could be slightly different. I am not very familiar with this thing. Yeah? Pakyong. So, pehle Bagdogra, you had to get on at Bagdogra and you had to fly, you had to drive to Gangtok, Sikkim and all. It would take a lot of time. Now you can directly fly to Pakyong, which is about 40 kilometers or something from Gangtok. Okay. So Indore is India's cleanest city. In cities with over 10 lakh population. In under 10 lakh, it is Jamshedpur. In under 10 lakh, India's cleanest city is Jamshedpur. Where is Jamshedpur? Jamshedpur is in Jharkhand. Jamshedpur. J for Jamshedpur, J for Jharkhand. Yes. Okay. Typically, Surat is a very clean place. So is Bhopal. So we looked at 2. One is 10 plus lakh, that is Indore. Under 10 lakh, it is Jamshedpur. We'll take one more. It is cantonment boards. Right. Category cantonment boards. C-A-N I repeat, CANTONMENT, cantonment boards. Cantonment boards. Cantonment boards. The answer is Saint Thomas. Saint Thomas. Saint ST. Saint Thomas. THOMAS. Saint Thomas Mount MOUNT. Saint Thomas Mount MOUNT, comma Chennai. Chennai. Saint Thomas Mount, Chennai. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next one please. Who has been reappointed as the chairman of the railway board for a period of 1 year? Because they have been reappointed, we got the question again. Vinod Kumar Yadav. Vinod Kumar Yadav. So we will pick 1, 2 choices here. Look at choice A. Choice 1, Ajay Tyagi, SEBI chairman. SEBI chairman. Choice 1, SEBI chairman. Choice 3, NABARD chairman. NABARD chairman. NABARD chairman. Hey, by the way, how many railway zones are there in India? 18 railway zones. How many? No. 17, 18. 18 railway zones in there. 18. Okay. What is the 18th one? 18th one is South Coast Railway. You could write this. South Coast Railway. South Coast Railway. South Coast Railway. Head office, headquarters, Visakhapatnam. South Coast Railway, headquarters, Visakhapatnam. 18. The latest one is South Coast Railway, railway zone. Head office is at Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam. Next. With which country has India signed an MOU for the procurement of over 7.5 lakh AK-203 assault rifles? Russia. Russia. You know what is AK? AK is एक जमाने में इसका पूरा नाम, in fact it's named after the guy who founded this, who created this one. AK is automatic Kalashnikov. What is it? Automatic Kalashnikov. You want a spelling? KALASHNIKOV. Kalashnikov. Automatic Kalashnikov. ये बंदा था जो रशियन आर्मी में काम करता था, Nikolai Michael Kalashnikov. He's created this, so it's named after him. Russian में और typically Slavic languages में, Eastern European languages में, if a word ends in with OV, typically V, it's pronounced with an F. It's pronounced with an F. So gap, automatic Kalashnikov. That's it. Next, I think we took the names of the leaders of these countries. We know the leaders, the currencies, the capitals. I think fairly over here. Not much to discuss. Jahab, if it's necessary, I'll bring this in. Don't worry about it. Okay? And we know that last in one of those classes, recent classes, we learned the name of the new Russian Prime Minister, Mikhail Mishustin. Yeah. So we know that as well. The world's second tallest statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was recently unveiled in Ahmedabad. The Statue of Unity. Yeah. Just 2 points likhe. Statue of Unity dash. Statue of Unity dash 182 meters. 182 meters dash Kevadia village. Kevadia, Kevadiya, Kevadiya, Kevadia village. Kevadia village, comma, Narmada district. Narmada district. Narmada district. Narmada district, comma, or You don't have to write Gujarat, you know it's in Gujarat, isn't it? Dash, sculpted by, the one who created it, sculpted by, SCULPTED, I repeat, SCULPTED, sculpted by Ram Sutar, Ram, R-A-M, Ram Sutar or Ram Sutar, S-U-T-A-R, dash, world's tallest statue, world's tallest statue. Now that is 182 meters tall, the one on the banks of Narmada, but this one is 50 meters tall, 50. और ये अहमदाबाद में is also sculpted by Ram Sutar. Okay, yeah. From here, I think I will have to tell my team also. The question should not, you see, it's not Allahabad, it should be Prayagraj. It should be Prayagraj. According to the Department for the Promotion of Industry and International Trade, which country was the largest source of FDI for India in H1, the first half, that is first 6 months of financial year 20. So the data is available till about December, if I am not wrong. That's about it. After that, there is no such. The data has not been updated, and the answer is Singapore. Singapore. Okay. एक काम करते हैं. Let's write. I'll give you data, a lot of data. Please write this, okay? So right, first one, main title: FDI inflows. FDI inflows. FDI inflows. FDI inflows. Dash. Okay, FDI inflows India. FDI inflows India. You know what is FDI now? Foreign direct investment. Underline that. First point. Cumulative FDI. Cumulative FDI. Cumulative FDI from April 2000. April 2000. आज से 20 साल पहले. ठीक है? April 2002 December 2019. December 2019. Hey, all the data comes from the website of the government of Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Commerce. You will find this data. Okay, right. April 2002 TO2, December 2019 dash cumulative FDI of $659 billion. $659 billion. Easy to remember, 666. Just remember that. Okay. $6-7 billion here and there hardly makes any difference. Relax. I'm talking of the country. Okay, or 20-year period. Hardly anything. Okay. Next. Top 5 nations. Main title: Top 5 nations. Top 5 nations. Underline that. उसके नीचे लिखिए. Which period? We'll take only the recent period. Okay, 9 months, not 6 months. 9 months. You're right. From April 2019 to December 2019, first 9 months of the last financial year. Okay? Okay, underline that. Right. 1. Singapore. 1. Singapore dash $11.65 billion. $11.65 billion. $11.65 billion. $11.65 billion. 2. Mauritius. Mauritius dash 7.45. So I have to pull it out, so it takes time. $7.45 billion. 3. Netherlands 3.53. 4. Japan 2.8. 5. US $2.7 billion. Hey, everything is $billion, yeah? Oh, okay. $billion. $2.7 billion for US. So first is Singapore 11.65. Second is Mauritius 7.45. Netherlands 3.53, I said. Fourth is Japan 2.85. Fifth rank is US 2.7. Okay. 5 biggest investors in India, my friends, in the last 9 months, in the first 9 months of the last financial year. Okay. And I don't think anything would have come in the January, February, March, because things have been very, very bad everywhere. Next, leave online space, right? Top 5 sectors. Top 5 sectors. Top 5 sectors. Underline that. Again, same period. First 9 months, that is April to December 2019. Okay? Okay, guys. Underline that. First point. First one. Rank 1. What sectors? First one. Services. Telecom, all that stuff. Insurance. Services. 6.52. Just about $6.52 billion. Next, second sector, rank 2, computer hardware and software. Computer hardware and software 6.34. थोड़ा नीचे से थोड़ा कम. Services here does not include telecom, because services would include insurance, would include defense and all that stuff. So 3, telecom, because that is telecom, telecom 4.29. The government is looking at this separately. Telecom sector 3, telecom 4.29. Fourth, rank 4, trading, 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 3.52. 5, automobile, you can say automobile. I normally go with American pronunciation, not British. Most of us go with American, actually, without our knowledge. Anyway, automobile 2.5. Say missile or director or schedule or clerk, CLERK. हम clerk कहते हैं या clerk कहते हैं? Clerk कहते हैं. Clerk is American English. You know what's in British English? CLERK is clerk. What is it? Clerk. So bank clerk. Do we say clerk? We don't say clerk. अगर हम clerk बैंक के जाके बोलेंगे क्या clerk साहब है क्या, तो गुस्सा हो जाएंगे. कौन है clerk? यहाँ पर कोई है नहीं, बोलेंगे. So whatever it is, my friends, use a language that people understand. And I, to a large extent, as you, I think I am, as your teacher, I am using a language that all of us understand. Because, we should always use a language that people understand. That is my fundamental belief as a teacher. See, थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने आपको बताया था कि, okay, let me repeat this. Top 5 sectors, services, 6.52. Second verse, we said computer hardware and software, 6.34. Third was telecom. Telecom was 4.29. Fourth was trading, 3.52. Fifth was, what is this, 2. Automobile. Fifth, automobile, 2.5. 2.5. So top 5 sectors in India. Okay. See, थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने आपको बताया था कि when you pronounce, यहाँ पे लिखा मैंने, Kalashnikov, Russian or Eastern European languages में, Slavic भाषाओं में, if a word ends in with OV, it's pronounced with an F. Yes? Now I'll tell you something more here. When a word, see, how do you pronounce the English word OF? Normally we say off. How do we say OFF? We say off. Because there is stress in the second word. Now my friends, you know OFF is off. OF is OV. उसका उच्चारण OV से करते हैं. क्या करते हैं? How do we pronounce OF? OV. Off. Yes. According to the Department for the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade of. Okay. But we don't say that. Now you don't hear me saying OF is OV. That is why, because we should use a language that people understand. But now you know OF is OV. If you stress on that, it becomes EV. It becomes EV. Promotion. That's also good English. But use it where it's understood. Okay. I'm sure you will do that. So now you know the answer. You have a lot of data, guys. That's a nice thing. Okay. Identify the portal launched by the Union Labour Ministry for the effective implementation of labour laws at the grassroots level and the redressal of worker as well as employer grievances. Santusht. The answer will tell you everything about the question. Santusht. That is contentment. Santusht. Okay. So, who is the Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers? Nice question. Oh, it's been long since we discussed this. So, the Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers is D.V. Sadananda Gowda. So, I would suggest you write this now. You write the ministers, please. What ministers do these guys hold? Right. Choice 5. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. I have filled in this. All my scribblings. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. HRD. We just write HRD. Human Resources Development Minister. Next. Thawar Chand Gehlot. Choice 4 there. Thawar Chand Gehlot. He's from Rajasthan. Social Justice and Empowerment. Social Justice and Empowerment. Social Justice and Empowerment. Next. Ravi Shankar Prasad. Patna se, Sahib Patna se. Right. Yes, he holds multiple ministries. Law and Justice. Communication. Next. Electronics and IT. Electronics and IT. So law and justice, communication, electronics and IT. Next. Ram Vilas Paswan. He is a leader of the Lok Jan Shakti Party, LJP. Lok Jan Shakti Party. At one point he held the world record in the 80s, if I'm not wrong. He held the world record for the biggest margin of election win. Kya ministry in cross? Consumer Affairs, right. Consumer Affairs, He has two ministries: Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution. Food and Public Distribution. Food and Public Distribution. So Ramvilas Paswan of LJP, a member of the constituent of the NDA, National Democratic Alliance at the ruling coalition at the center, holds ministries of food and public distribution system and consumer affairs. Okay. The UP government recently announced the setting up of a zoological garden in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. In this context, after whom will this zoo be named? Shahid Ashfaqullah Khan. I'm going to tell you a story about one of these choices, not now. I promise you, I'll tell you this story in the next session. I'm writing it here. Okay? About one of these historical characters, it will take 3 to 4 minutes. That's it. लेकिन मजा आ जाएगा. काफ़ी कुछ जानने को मिलेगा आपको. I'm writing it here. What I have written, I am not told. I will not tell you, but I have written it here. Whose name I have written. Okay. So Gorakhpur, as you know, is hometown of home constituency of the UP Chief Minister, isn't it? Yes. It's named after Bhagwan Shiv Gorakhnath. Then, which ministry has recently launched a mega online challenge named Samadhan to fight against COVID-19 and future challenges? HRD. तो एक काम करते हैं, HRD मिनिस्टर के बारे में तो हम जानते ही हैं, so we'll write about the other ministries. Okay, right. Who is the HRD minister? We just wrote. Look up your book. If you recall, it would be Ramesh Nishank Pokhriyal. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. So, choice 5 in this case. Who is the Minister of Tribal Welfare? Tribal Welfare, please write. Arjun Munda. He is from Jharkhand. He is the ex-CM of Jharkhand. Arjun Munda. M-U-N-D-A. Munda. Arjun Munda. It's a tribe. Munda is a tribe. Then Science and Technology. This guy holds 2-3 ministries. You know, Science and Technology is held by, if I'm not wrong, Harshvardhan. Right. Science and Technology, Earth Sciences. Earth. E-A-R-T-H. Earth Sciences. I don't know the Hindi names of these ministries, so please excuse me about this. One is Science and Technology, the other is Earth Sciences. Third is, he is the current guy, he is there in all these conferences. Yeah, right. Health and family welfare. Health and family welfare. I'm sorry. Health and family welfare. वो COVID-19 देख के याद आया, third ministry holds. Health and family welfare. Dr. Harshvardhan. So guys, the guy who holds Science and Technology Ministry also holds 2 other ministries, Earth Sciences and Health and Family Welfare, which is Dr. Harshvardhan. Okay, next, Steel Ministry. The Steel Ministry is also the minister who is pretty much in news these days. One of his ministries is quite happy. What is that? Steel Minister and Petroleum Minister for Petroleum. Who's the guy? Dharmendra Pradhan. So I enjoyed discussing foreign affairs, but I don't teach this anywhere. So he holds 2 ministries. One is steel. Dharmendra Pradhan holds steel and petroleum, ministry. Ministry of Commerce and Industry is held by Piyush Goyal. Slightly, the eyes basically are straining because of the light, my friends. A bit bright light, so that I'm taken up my glasses also, bit stress strain. Okay, sometimes I have to wear them, sometimes I have to take them off. So I think we covered 9 ministries, because multiple ministries, because only the name of the third here, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, has been repeated. That's it. To grant immediate relief to the taxpayers due to the coronavirus pandemic, the Union government has decided to refund all pending IT income tax refunds up to 5 lakh rupees. 5 lakh rupees. But how many people will get 5 lakh rupees refund? Very few. Very few. I'm going to share some data in the next session, in the coming sessions. You know what? In India, we barely have 6.75 lakh people. In India, just about 6.75 lakh individuals declare an annual income of 25 lakh rupees. Just about 6.75 lakh people declare an annual income of 25 lakh rupees. I will show you this data that comes from the income tax website. Income tax website. I scoured all these websites for data so that I can share with you. Nothing. There is no other reason for me to look up all that, except that it helps me understand the world. So guys, you should work harder to learn all these things. It's good because it helps you make a better decision. Okay. So 5 lakh up to, this is a refund, not income. Refund. Yes. World Health Day is observed on 7th April. Every year, because World Health Organization was set up on this day. If I'm not wrong, in 1948. So the tagline for the 2020 World Health Day is support nurses and midwives. Support nurses and midwives. Okay. Who of the following has been named brand ambassador of Dubai-based cricket coaching academy Cricket Kingdom? I'm not greatly interested in this. Rohit Sharma is the answer. He is one of the most explosive, cricketers in the world. And under the presidency of which nation has the UN Security Council for the first time held a closed video conference session in connection with the impact of COVID-19 on the issues that fall under its mandate? The answer is, where is this country? Dominican Republic. Any idea? It's in the Caribbean Sea. It's in one of those West Indies group of islands. You have this island called Hispaniola. What is it? Hispaniola. Don't write. It's not required. No exam will ask you this thing. Hispaniola. Hispaniola. Hispaniola is an island which is on which there are two countries. One on the left, basically, as you look up, अगर आप जहाँ पे स्क्रीन को देख रहे हैं, लेफ्ट में होगा हेटी HITI और राइट में होगा what is this place? Dominican Republic. You don't need to know its capital, you don't need to know its president, its currency, everything. It's a Spanish country. The currency will be peso. Remember, the currency will be peso, and the president is a guy called Danilo Medina. Not required. Just not required. Okay. Yeah. Now all these choices you don't really require. But UN Security Council has 15 members. 5 permanent होते हैं, 10 non-permanent. Who are the 5 permanent members? Geographical order: West. If you look at United States, across the Atlantic, Britain, France, Russia, China. There is only one Asian member, China. Okay. Then one in Europe. There are 3. Who are they? Russia. Russia is a European country. Russia, France, and Britain. And in the Americas, 1, United States. 5 countries. Okay, guys. Easy to remember. 1 Asian country. So, which small finance bank has recently launched a digital banking platform named DigiGen, where customers can digitally open a savings account and fix deposit instantly, anytime, anywhere? Jana Small Finance Bank. I'm not going to discuss this. Okay, some other time I'm going to discuss this, but I think I already mentioned there are 10 small finance banks in India. We have discussed a lot of these banks We have discussed about 6 small finance banks, if I'm not wrong. So we'll keep discussing. Not today. Kindly forgive, excuse me for this particular question. Which bank has recently unveiled India's largest application programming interface banking portal with nearly 250 APIs? ICICI Bank. Who is the CEO? Hey, ICICI Bank is India's biggest private sector bank. You could write this. India's biggest private sector bank and overall second. India's biggest private sector bank. India's biggest private sector bank dash CEO. What's the name of the CEO? Sandeep Bakshi. Sandeep Bakshi. SBI, we know chairman is Rajneesh Kumar. HDFC Bank CEO is Aditya Puri. Kotak Mahindra Bank CEO is Uday Kotak. Yes Bank CEO is Prashant Kumar. Yes Bank CEO Prashant Kumar. It's from one of the co-founders, Rana Kapoor, ex-CEO. Rana Kapoor has been arrested now. So SBI had to take over. SBI invested about 49% of the capital, and today, the shares also locked down. Prashant Kumar is the CEO of S Bank. A simple question. By partnering with Nadia Kilchinok, which Indian won the 2020 Women Tennis Association Hobart International Trophy? Sania Mirza. If you know WTA, you wouldn't even look at 1, 2, 3, 4. WTA stands for Women's Tennis Association. I don't know why. I think we need to be careful about this. Where is Hobart? Hobart is in on the island of Tasmania. Where is Tasmania? Australia. See, when I asked this, do you know this? It just meant to tickle your imagination, nothing beyond this. Because I learned like this. Oh, what is it? How is it? How does it work? This is how I ask myself questions. So, Hobart is the capital of Tasmania. Tasmania, which is part of Australia. It's an Australian state. Part of Australia. Okay. Name the biggest exercise comprising more than 500 special force troops conducted with the Indian Army. Winged Raiders. Hey guys, we have taken 15 to 20 exercises till now. So, like that Surya Kiran, if you recall, it's Nepal. It involves Nepal, isn't it? So, plenty of exercises we have taken. Look up the notebook, revise, keep learning one per day. You will remember everything else. Okay. According to the Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index, I think this is a big question. Which are the least corrupt countries? New Zealand and Denmark. एक काम करते हैं, revision है, लेकिन थोड़ा revise कर लेते हैं. Please write. Transparency International, the title. Corruption Perception Index. Corruption Perception Index. Okay. I don't know, I miss the classroom a lot, my friends. So sometimes I get a little excited and I talk like as if you are sitting here. Okay. So I've been a teacher for almost 20 years and it's, 20 years do a lot of things to us. So Transparency International Corruption Perception Index. Underline that, right. Top or least corrupt countries, right? Least corrupt countries. Underline that. Rank 1. You write those two names there. Rank 1. Since rank 1 has two names, New Zealand and Denmark, there won't be a rank 2. So next, rank 3. Finland, Finland. Rank 3, Finland. Rank 4, There are 3 countries, rank 4. Sweden, Switzerland, and Singapore, तीन देश है यहाँ पे in the 4th place, 3S. Okay, so what is India's rank? Right, rank of India and China, same rank. Rank of India and China 80. In brackets, out of 180 countries. You want bottom also? Last one, you write. Bottom three countries. Right. Somalia, 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 comma, Syria, and South Sudan, South, S-O-U-T-H, South Sudan. It's a country in the south of Sudan. Okay, it was a part of Sudan in the past, but in July 2011, it became a separate country. So, bottom 3 countries. I did not name the order, but 3. You look at the 3 S's: Somalia, Syria, South Sudan. 3 S's in the 4th place: Sweden, Switzerland, Singapore. Yes. So that's about it, my friends. Oh, let me check. I'm so sorry, but I remembered this to the last question. I hope you learned a lot of good things today, and I have written one name here, which I plan to discuss in the coming sessions. I'll tell you a little bit of story about a very famous person. How his call led to someone else's name. Thanks for being here. I hope you learned a few good things today, and please leave your feedback about this session and what you would like us to discuss. Thanks once again. Stay curious, my friends. Thank you so much.